Most people think they need more time. In reality, they just need a better system. For the last decade, I've been obsessed with productivity. I've read lots of books, tried many apps, and tested every guru hack you can imagine. Most of it, honestly, is just noise. But out of hundreds of strategies, only 10 have actually stood the test of time. These 10 principles are what I still use every single day. They changed my life, taking me from a chronically stressed student to a content creator. Let's break them down. You have more control than you think. The biggest lie we tell ourselves is, I don't have time. We use it as a universal excuse for why we aren't fit, why we haven't started that business, or why we haven't called our parents. But think about it. We always have time for what we truly value. If you spent 4 hours scrolling through social media today, you didn't lack time for the gym. You simply prioritized the phone. When I first realized I own all my time, it was terrifying but empowering. I stopped saying I can't and started saying it's not a priority right now. Whether you're working for a boss or yourself, you are the CEO of your 24 hours. Once you accept that responsibility, you finally gain the power to change your life. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. I learned this from Derek Sivers, and it's the ultimate cure for people pleasing. Early in your career, when you're hungry for growth, you should say yes to almost everything. You need the experience. But once you start gaining momentum, your default must switch. We often say yes to things, a coffee meeting, a side project, a social event, out of guilt or a vague sense of obligation. Then the day arrives and we dread it. The hell yes or no rule fixes this. If an opportunity doesn't make you feel an immediate, visceral hell yes, then the answer is a polite no. By clearing out the maybes, you create space for the things that actually move the needle. Stop drowning in your to-do list. We've all had those days where we're busy from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., yet we end the day feeling like we achieved absolutely nothing. That's because we're treating every task as equal. To fix this, use the daily highlight. Every morning, ask yourself, what is the one thing I want to look back on today and feel proud of? It could be a big work task, or it could be something as simple as having a great dinner with a friend. By choosing a single North Star for your day, the mental fog clears. You might have 20 things on your list, but as long as that one highlight gets done, the day is a success. Everything else is just a bonus. Your brain is a factory, not a warehouse. One of the greatest productivity mistakes is trying to remember everything. Our brains are designed for processing information and having ideas, not for storing lists of groceries and emails to send. When you try to keep it all in your head, it creates constant open loops that drain your mental energy. I like to use a physical to-do list every single morning. I use the analog system, which is basically just a card and a wooden stand. There is something deeply satisfying, almost therapeutic, about crossing a task off with a real pen. Whether you use a fancy notebook or a digital app, the goal is the same. Externalize your thoughts. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Write it down. Get it out. If it isn't scheduled, it's just a wish. Most of us live out of a to-do list, but there's a fatal flaw. Lists don't account for time. This is where time blocking comes in. It's a strategy used by Elon Musk and Bill Gates to manage massive workloads. The premise is simple. Instead of a vague list of tasks, you assign every hour of your day a specific job. I don't time block every single second. I'm not a robot. But I always give my daily highlight a home. If I need to write a script, I don't just hope I'll find time. I claim a 2-hour block in my calendar. When you put a task on your calendar, you're making a contract with your future self. It turns a wish into an appointment. You protect your sanity because you've already made the hard decision of when to work. Why deadlines are your best friend. Have you ever noticed how you can clean your entire house in 20 minutes right before a guest arrives, even though it usually takes 2 hours? That's Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time available for its completion. If you give yourself a week to write a report, it will take a week. If you give yourself 2 hours, you'll find a way to get it done in 120 minutes. I use artificial deadlines for everything, from creating these videos to doing my homework. I set a timer and I race against it. You'll be shocked at how much higher your quality remains, even when you move twice as fast. Speed is a skill you can practice. Build a fortress around your deep work. In a world of constant notifications, your attention is under attack. I realize that my most valuable work, the stuff that actually builds my future, requires deep, uninterrupted focus. So I created protected time. For me, the mornings are sacred. No meetings, no Zoom calls, and no checking emails until at least 11 a.m. This is my fortress. It's when I do my writing and my big picture thinking. Even if I just use that time to read a book or reflect, it belongs to me. If you're serious about your goals, find your window of peak energy and lock the door. The rest of the world can wait a few hours. Now, what is 1 hour of your life actually worth? Delegation isn't just for corporate executives. It's a mindset for anyone who values their time. I started thinking about my hourly rate long before I was successful. If my time is worth $30 an hour, why am I spending 2 hours doing $10 an hour admin work? Hire a cleaner to help at home, use freelancers on platforms like Upwork for data entry and editing. It's not an expense, it's buying back your freedom. When you delegate the tasks you hate or the ones that don't add value, you free up your energy to focus on the things that only you can do. Buy back your time. Stop the email ping pong for good. We waste an incredible amount of time in scheduling friction. You know the drill. Are you free Tuesday at 3? No, but I can do Wednesday at 5. 10 emails later, you finally have a meeting. It's a massive hidden time leak. You can start using automated tools like Calendly, and it felt like a power move at first. But you will realize that it's actually a courtesy. It allows the other person to see exactly when you are free and pick a time that works for them instantly. It saves everyone 20 minutes of stress. Automate the administrative friction in your life so you can spend your human energy on the actual conversation. Productivity shouldn't feel like a cage. There's a dark side to the productivity world, the chronically dissatisfied trap. You can do 10 great things in a day, but as you lay in bed, you only think about the 11th thing you didn't do. You beat yourself up, and you wake up the next morning already feeling behind. Here's the secret I wish I knew sooner. You can choose to be satisfied. At the end of the day, look at what you accomplished. If you hit your daily highlight, you won. Be kind to yourself. The goal of productivity isn't to become a machine. It's to create a life you actually enjoy living. A happy, satisfied brain is always more productive than a stressed one. Which of these 10 principles resonated with you the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I try to respond to as many as possible. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe. We're here to help you master your mindset, your money, and your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.